Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our Advancing Your Business, Your People, and Your Legacy conversation series. My name is Kendall Rawls, and I'll be your moderator. Whatever your business is, it depends upon people to deliver and/or support your product or service. Qualified, motivated, and loyal people are hard to find, so when you find them, you want to keep them. However, so many organizations suffer from turnover, which impacts culture and performance. For this episode, I am joined by Dan Schneider, a partner of the Rawls Group, and Renee Winston, an affiliate of Owl Automotive Group and president of People One Human Resources, to dive deep into turnover, what causes it, and how to avoid it. Hi, Dan and Renee. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. It's nice to be part of the group.
Renee, do you have recommendations on innovative ways organizations can recruit and retain key talent, considering all the different things out there people are looking for in terms of remote, flexible work, compensation, and those sort of things?
There are so many things that goes into this. What I like to teach and preach is create a career ladder for each position that you have there. I believe that people do want a career, and they want to see how they fit into your organization, not just at a starting level, but further up the line. And so I believe it's critically important that we create a way for people to know that they can advance, because they will focus their best talent on trying to advance within the company. So creating a career ladder is extremely important. Companies should create a good social media presence on the web. It's interesting. I was involved in a hire recently with a young lady who had a number of choices in terms of which job she was going to go to. So after we hired her, I did ask her the question of, why did you make the decision to join this particular company? And she said that first thing she did was she went out into the internet and she researched the company. She wanted to know what it stood for, what its values were, what kind of community involvement was there. Then she said that when she came in for the interview, she looked to see if the values that were online was reflected in the people that she saw around her, as well as during the interview itself. And then once she was able to marry those pieces up, then she felt like this was the best place for her. So we need to have that social presence that talks about those things that are important to us, but then we also have to make sure that we reflect those things inside of the organization. Another thing to do to create a good hiring and retention program is start building relationships with your prospective employees, I would say, through Facebook, LinkedIn, and other social media, even before you need to hire that person. It's tough, I believe, that when you're trying to recruit someone, if the first time that they've heard about you or know anything about you is when someone reaches out trying to get them interested in coming on board with the company. If you start by looking at people through their Facebook and through LinkedIn and the other social media piece, you get to kind of know them, but you can contact those people. You can start building that relationship by sending them different information over the period of time. Then they get to know your organization over a period of time, so that when you do have a need for that particular person, then when you reach out to them, it's a lot easier for that person to see themselves as part of the company. So you have to stay in touch with them. So continually marketing to your target audience is one of the main ways to be able to increase your ability to be able to hire the right talent, rather than doing your panic hire and just getting kind of the first person that comes along that somewhat meets your criteria.
Renee, I really agree with the comments that you've made here. And I think it's really important to get and stay close to the people that you want to bring into the organization, and to stay just as close after you've gotten them in the organization as you did before you brought them in. I think that turnover itself begins long before a person is actually offered a position. And usually it begins with the initial screening process and how strong the relationship is that you create before you make them an offer. So part of what we encourage the companies that we work with to do is to start talking about things like mission and vision and values in the preliminary interview process, and to keep talking about those things throughout the individual's tenure with the company. You want to build a long-term onboarding process and an educational system that takes about 3 years to complete, and it covers their first 3 years with the company, and it's kind of drip education and marketing about what the company can do, not only to them, but for them. And then create a rewarding process that reminds them after the initial onboarding process, you want to continue to reboard them, or as you put it a little earlier, I think, you want to keep marketing to the people after they've been there. And remember that just as you can never tell your significant other how much you love him or her, you can never tell your employees often enough how much they mean to the organization and how glad you are that they're with you. And I think it's important to show that by investing enough of your financial resources, and enough of the financial resources that, in our terminology, would be about 2% of whatever your payroll costs are, in their development, so that your competitors are always looking to your organization and sending their recruiters to your company to try to pull people away, and then treat your people with so much dignity and respect that they never want to leave. And those are the real keys to holding on to the talent within your organization. It's just respect, dignity, communications, and letting people know that they're appreciated and that they're making real contributions and that they have opportunities to grow.
Advancing Your Business, Your People, and Your Legacy is produced by the Rawls Group and hosted by me, Kendall Rawls. Thank you to Dan Schneider, who is a partner with the Rawls Group, and Renee Winston, an affiliate of Owl Automotive Group and president of People One Human Resources. You can hear more of this discussion on our website at www.rawlsgroup.com. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Thanks for listening.